Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you. Today we are here to discuss CUET mock test series on biology, which is brought to you by Toppscholars, the smart learning app. You all might have already given the test series and you all might have hundreds of questions going through your mind. So today I'm here to answer all the questions that you have in your mind. So let us begin the analysis session together. So let us move on to our first question and see what is there in the first question. So the first question says, pollen grains are protected by a mucilaginous covering and having a specific gravity. This is a characteristic feature of which type of pollination? So children, focus on an important term given, type of pollination. So I would like to get to your notice here that you will be given the options where name of the pollination will be given. So type of pollination you need to focus, and children, emphasize on two important information which is given. Pollen grains are protected by mucilaginous covering and specific gravity. So make sure that when you are talking about the concept of the question, they are asking you to identify a type of question based on the pollen grain which is there. So there are two features which are given. First, that is mucilaginous covering, and second, that is specific gravity. Mucilaginous covering will protect the pollen grain from getting wet. And the second thing is specific gravity. Of course, as you all understand, that is going to decide where the pollen grain is supposed to be. So now you have to decide, looking at the options, which option would have the pollen grain with the given features. So let us see the option. So do you think it is going to be A, anemophily, B, entomophily, C, hydrophily, or D, zoophily? So let me tell you, we'll talk about an important thing, that is nothing but hydrophily. So when you talk about hydrophily, children, let me tell you, this is a type of a pollination which is going to take place in water. Let me tell you, hydrophily is also of two types. In one case, the pollination, or I can say the process, is going to happen on the surface of the water, and in another case it is going to be under the surface. So in both the cases, the specific gravity and the mucilaginous covering are the things which are really important. So I hope now you have got the answer. The correct answer for the question is nothing but hydrophily. Okay, I hope it is clear. So now let us move on to the next question. So let us see what is there in question number 2 for us. If a male has undergone a surgery which makes him incapable of impregnating a female, which among the following is the procedure performed on the male? So what the question is talking about, children, they are talking about a surgery. Clearly the term is mentioned, a male has undergone a surgery. Okay, so a procedure is done after which a male cannot impregnate a female. That means the male cannot plan a family. So it's a surgery based method, and when I'm using the word, children, impregnating a female, after that never, which will make him incapable. So that means it is never going to happen. So the second idea that you will get is it's a permanent thing. Which among the following procedure might have been done? So let us see the options now. Do you think it is going to be A, vasectomy, B, tubectomy, C, implantation of a device in the vas deferens, or D, both A and C? Let me tell you, I'll give you an idea. When you talk about vasectomy, children, in this particular case, the vas deferens is cut. Okay, the vas deferens is cut and tied. When you talk about tubectomy, this is taken, the term. Tubectomy term is taken from the fallopian tube. Let me tell you, tubectomy is the term that is taken for the surgery where a fallopian tube is going to be considered. When you talk about vasectomy, it is vas deferens. Okay. So you all decide what would be the one. Implantation of device in the vas deferens. So that is of course not something which is possible. So I believe now you will get the correct idea. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is nothing but A. Because children, when you talk about tubectomy, this is something that female undergoes and not a male. And children, male is not going to go for any implantation. So the correct answer, since it's clearly mentioned, if a male, so the correct answer would be A and not B, or of course not D as well, because both A and C cannot be considered, right? Okay, I hope the answer is clear, and why the correct answer is A. Which among the following antibiotic can be used to treat gonorrhea? So before I talk about that, I would like to let you know what exactly is gonorrhea. So we are here talking about the treatment of gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is nothing but a sexually transmitted disease, and of course it is something which is spread if a person is going to have unprotected sexual intercourse with another individual who is already infected. So antibiotic is something which is of course one of the way it can be treated. So how exactly it works we'll talk about. So which are the ones which are given to you? Do you think it can be treated with A, penicillin, B, cefixime, C, streptomycin, and D, both A and B? Let me tell you, the correct answer is cefixime. Because when you talk about gonorrhea, children, it is caused because of a bacteria. Let me tell you, antibiotics are basically the ones which are only going to work against bacteria. So since gonorrhea is caused because of bacteria, this is nothing but, that is cefixime is nothing but the antibiotic which we can go for to kill that particular organism, and this is one of the treatment which a person can take if suffering from gonorrhea. Okay, I hope it is clear with you. And let us move on to the next question with this. Arabidopsis thaliana has how many chromosomes in its somatic cells? Please emphasize, they have asked you how many chromosomes, means they are talking about the number. In somatic cell, always make sure, children, you read the question very carefully and the complete question. Arabidopsis thaliana is the name of the organism they are talking about. How many chromosomes are there, but specifically in the somatic cell they are talking about. So let us see what are the options given. A, 32, B, 8, C, 10, and D, 12. And let me tell you, the correct answer is nothing but C, 10. So it is a very clear and a straightforward question. They have asked you the number of chromosome and the correct answer is C. Arabidopsis thaliana is basically an organism wherein the somatic cells, of course you might be thinking, what is a somatic cell? Children, when you talk about the body, there are two types of cells, germ cells and somatic cells. Germ cells are basically the one, those who are going to participate in reproduction, fertilization. And when you talk about somatic cell, this is something which is going to be all the other cells except then your germ cells. So excluding germ cells, whichever cells we have in our body is nothing but your somatic cell. So when you talk about Arabidopsis thaliana, somatic cells, they have total 10 chromosomes. Okay, I hope it is clear. So we are good to move ahead to our next question and see what the question says. Is a match the column type of question, where they have given you column 1 and column 2. So let us see what is there in each case. So when you talk about column 1, here you have humanoid fossil. Here they are trying to, of course, talk about the category. As you all can see, Dryopithecus, Ramapithecus and Australopithecus. Based on the fossils which were, of course, recovered later, they had given the names to each. And on the other side, they have given you the characteristics. So you need to match. So these are the four options, A, B, C and D. And let me tell you, the correct answer for this is nothing but D, where first one is going to be with B. That is, children, Dryopithecus is close similarity to chimpanzees. They are very close, they are very similar to chimpanzees. When you talk about Ramapithecus, it is going to be man-like appearance. Ramapithecus has more or less similar to man. And finally, Australopithecus, it is going to be man with ape brain. When you talk about these characters, again children, it's a very simple one where you need to know the characteristic of each case and then you can directly choose. And let me tell you, whenever you're going for choose the correct option, if even one, like if you see A, B and C, in first case only, your first is given A, in these two cases first is given C. So you won't even have to bother about the other ones. So one option, if it is incorrect, you don't have to see other ones. So of course, then you will land up onto the correct one, that is D. So it is very important, children, whenever you are preparing this particular chapter, always make sure each category, Dryopithecus, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, anything you are talking about, Cro-Magnon man, always learn the characteristic feature, the specific feature of that particular category, and yes, do not forget to learn the cranial capacity. So such things are very important because you may get such sort of questions in exam. Okay, so I hope you have got the answer.